Welcome to Stop My Crisis. I'm your host, Vivian Gaspar. Are you an entrepreneur or do you love someone who is? You need to pass on this really valuable information that we are very graciously happy to have with us all the way from Copenhagen, Denmark, Lise Gottlieb. Lise is amazing. She is the e-commerce queen of Denmark. She is the CEO and founder of the Biz Boost Group. She is also an internationally best-selling author of the book, The Biz Boost Formula, 5 Simple Steps to Business Profit. And everyone who's an entrepreneur knows that they need to accept as much information as they possibly can. And Lise, in her work as the marketing expert, serial entrepreneur, Harvard speaker, best-selling author, and award-winning business mentor, Lise shares her proven strategies with self-motivated, disciplined, hardworking people to help them obtain a holistic lifestyle that includes personal and financial independence. Lise, you are amazingly accomplished, and we're very grateful to have you on our show to share with the hundreds of millions of people who watch exactly what they could be doing to improve their business, from strategy to perhaps some innovative ways that you could share that they may not have thought of before. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
And I wanted to start off with understanding, what does it take to having someone go from the concept of being a solopreneur to a very successful entrepreneur, because there must be some common threads. So can you share with us, what are 3 common mistakes that business owners tend to make?
I think that the most common mistake that business owners make is that they do all the work themselves. They forget about taking decisions, delegate the stuff, and work on designing the business to a bigger thing that was their vision of, from the beginning of. So that's the hard thing for most people.
Delegating is the trick, because sometimes you feel that no one else can do it just as well as you can.
Yes. I think that the idea is to make it simple. It should be so simple that you can actually explain it to other people so that they can do the work. But you have also to explain how to make decisions so they can take decisions, because else they will come back to you with more questions, and then you will get more stressed and have more things to do. So that's a hard thing.
Does it become more time consuming and you're not watching your time as carefully if you're now getting more put back on you?
Yes, it will be. Absolutely.
So that's the first secret. What are your other tips?
I think that in general, we all heard about work smarter, not harder. And it's very easy to say, but what does it really take? And I think it takes that you have a focus on how you use your time. So if you make a little list of what you have been doing for the last 5 days, just to make it simple, then you will say, is this where I do stuff? Or is it something I have delegated? Or is it something where I'm working on my business to develop my business? And then you will easily see that the most of the time is doing. Of course, most of the time should be doing. But if it's 100% doing, then it's not good. Because doing is where you create value, but other people can do stuff. And you have to spend time on the other things as well. So I think that's a trick.
So do you recommend prioritizing your tasks on things that you must do solely yourself to provide the business value? And what types of tasks can be delegated, and to what level of people?
Yes.
I mean, when you're starting out a business, you might have limited resources.
Yes.
And how do you recommend that people, delegate when they're first starting out and might not have a lot of money that they can allocate towards hiring several people?
I think that a lot of things can be delegated to people who are not that high skilled. So a lot of things can actually be done by a lot of people. But maybe you don't have the faith in them that they can do it. But if you try to explain it to them and explain what is your vision, because they need to be on the same page as you. So if your vision is this, and they don't know it, then they might go in the other direction. So you want them to go the same way as you, and that you can do by sharing your ideas, your visions, and everything with them, so they have the knowledge about why is this important.
So those 2 tips, I think, are very important for someone to keep in mind when they're really looking to focus on higher levels of productivity. What is a 3rd mistake that someone normally makes?
The most important thing is the sale. So you have to do sale, and if you cannot do sale, you have to learn it.
What about hiring a salesperson instead?
It's not enough. It's not good enough.
Because I think that's what a lot of people think. Well, I'll just hire someone
You
for
cannot
that.
just hire somebody and do the sales. The sales is the core thing in the business, and the business owners need to know what it takes and how to do it. When they know that, then they can delegate some of it and have sales rep to help them. But they need to know it themselves.
What do you think is the best way for someone to dip themselves gently into sales when they're really afraid of the concept?
I think it's a very good idea if you tell a story. So if you learn to use storytelling as a technique, then you can actually win everybody.
So can you give an example of what you mean by telling a story to help make a sale?
Yeah, I think that most entrepreneurs, they have a dream and they have a passion and they have been down and they have been up. And they have made their choices based on something that happened in their past. And if you can take some of these things that happened in the past and explain it to the world, to the coming employees, to the coming customers, then they get a feel of who you are and how you react on things, and all that makes you more likable. And we want to win people. We want them to like us, and we want them to feel that you are authentic. And all this storytelling, they can actually provide all these things. So it's a very easy technique for people to learn and use. And by that, then immediately think, I have seen people present their business, and I thought, I want to buy whatever he's selling. I want that because he was so likable and he was taking so good care of everybody around him. So I knew that he would take care of me if I was his customer.
And then you have to remember, when they feel engaged in what you're saying, what's the most important step? Ask for the sale.
Yeah. Yes.
We're going to take a little short break and come back and learn a lot more what this amazing lady all the way from Denmark has to say on helping your business progress forward tremendously. Welcome back to Stop My Crisis. We're here with this amazing lady, Lise, who is going to share some very important information as to how your business can use a website and other online marketing to create amazing streams of lead generation. And Lise, I wanted to find out, can you give business owners 3 tips on what are the essentials, what must be present on a website in order to generate business from online visitors?
Yes, on the website, I know it's a little technical, but on the website, you need to have the first thing that anyone see when they enter the website is something enticing they want to have. It can be something you give them away for free, or it can be something you sell them. But there must be a place where they can say, yes, I want to buy this, or yes, I want to download this or have this. So if you don't put this, we call it a call to action. If you don't have this call to action on the website, then you are missing out on a lot of leads and a lot of money. So that's the most important thing. That is that bottom where they can get stuff.
Where should that be placed? Does it matter if it's in an upper right-hand corner or a little lower on the screen or in the center? Does it make a difference?
Yes, it makes a difference. It should be on the screen when you see it immediately. So if you are watching from a laptop, it should be immediately there. You should not scroll down to see it. It should be the first thing you see. So that's a must.
And what other aspects of when you build a website do you need to keep in mind for marketability? What's another valuable tip?
It's very valuable to have what we call, it's called a sales funnel. In sales, there has always been funnels. A funnel is where you take your leads and then you narrow down and get them into some more from cold leads to warm leads, and then you try to convert them into a buying customer. And exactly the same is what you're going to do on the website. And that you can do by pressing this button. You give some information that you expect the lead they want to have. And when that is done, then you can either take them immediately to something they can buy, or you can send them information so that you keep them enticed and interested in what you have. So this is the funnel, and this you can automate. So this automated sales funnel is super important if you want to make money on your website, and this is how you can actually make money from your marketing.
So number 1 is a call to action on the homepage of the website.
Yes.
Number 2 is the sales funnel.
Yes.
And what would be the third one?
The third one is that when people they press this button and get opt in, as it's called, then they have to get on an email list. So you get their email and you build a list. And that list can be very, very valuable for the business, because this is where they have all their cold leads. And by sending emails, they will turn them into the warm leads and eventually into buying customers. So the email list is very important. And in general, we say that an email on a list like this is worth at least $1 per month.
So my question is always going to be, and I think a lot of people have different opinions on this, how frequently should you be sending out emails to people on this email list? Forget about what's in the email, but what is the frequency that is most accepted and efficient?
I think it depends a lot of what you're selling. And it depends very much on the content you're sending out. Because if your content is relevant and it gives value, then people will love to have it.
So is daily too much? Is weekly enough? Is twice a week? What is the good number in general?
I think it's very difficult to say something general, because it depends on what you're doing. So somebody will like to have a tip a day. If you are doing something where you want to change a habit, maybe they want to have an inspiring mail each day to change this habit and to stay on track. So, and maybe you sell something that is where there is not that much change, then you want to just send a newsletter once a month.
So when you have a physical space, let's say somebody has a clothing store, versus an online presence, is it any different how you're going to be marketing?
I think if you have a physical store, your marketing can still be online, but you will send it to your the area where your shop is located. If you are an online shop, a pure online shop, you can send it all over the world.
Well, especially if they could ship. Maybe they can have both an online presence in addition to their storefront.
Yeah, it depends on what the shop want with this. If they want to attract leads into their shop, you know, they can do a lot of awareness marketing in their local area. And if they want to expand their existing shop with also selling the same products online, they can add on a shop where they can ship to all over the world.
I mean, this gets very involved, and perhaps a lot of people would think it's complicated. Where does someone, a business owner, really understand the right ways to get to the, is this a type of business that you're doing, the consulting, right? You're a consultant. Do you guide your clients on how to accomplish this?
Yes, I absolutely do. And that's also why I got this award at Harvard for being the e-commerce mentor of the year last year.
Oh, congratulations. That's impressive at Harvard.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, but it is what I teach people, that's what I help them with, and I coach them to do these kind of things. So I help them to how to organize it, and I help them where to find resources to do the stuff, to do the work.
Expectations, I think, are very important. When someone builds out a website, it might look amazing and beautiful, but how long does it really take from the point that your website goes live to when you could start having people reasonably contact you? What's that time frame look like?
I would say you can compare it to if you want to open a new shop. If you rent a store or a shop on the main high street, people will walk by and see your shop and go in. It's super expensive, but you get customers for free, they just walk in. But if you open an ordinary shop long down the road, you know, behind all the big shops, nobody will find you unless they have heard about you. So you need to advertise for people to find you when you live on the small street down a long way. And when you live on the high street, it's a part of what you get when you get this expensive address. And the same in the online world. If you set up a website, nobody will ever see it.
So we're going to take another break and come back and learn how do you get the traffic you need to the beautiful website you just created with perhaps Lise's help. Welcome back to Stop My Crisis. We just finished talking about how your website should present to get wonderful new visitors, and Lise is now going to discuss what you can do to bring those visitors to your website. Tell us a little bit of information on what components or actions you can take to drive traffic to your site?
Yes, this is marketing. And marketing are many things, but an easy thing to do is to do some social media marketing, and that can be Facebook ads or Instagram ads, but you can also do Google ads, because this is where everybody search for stuff. So these are 3 very easy ways to get traffic to your website.
And do you have any specific information, or can people contact you on to what those ads should look like and how much you should spend on which direction?
Yes, absolutely. I teach people a lot about how to get clients to their website, so we have a program that's called FacebookCashMachinePro.com, where I teach people how to use Facebook for the lead generation machine.
But that in itself must be very, very tight with the knowledge, because that is a huge topic. Yeah. But it really, I think there's a lot of people burning to want to find out, how do they even create a business, especially a side business or another avenue for residual income? Is this something you help people with as well?
Yes, it is. And I think there are 3 things that they should be aware of. Because first of all, it should be something that they have a passion for, or that at least like. That's number 1. So, because maybe you're very good at, let's say, creating videos. You can be passionate about it, but you can at least, maybe it's your passion, but at least you're very good at it and you like it very much. So, sometimes you can discuss if it's a passion or it's just some very good, some skills where you think you're very good at it. But I think that is number 1. That is something that you really like to do. And the second and very important thing is that you have to be able to monetize it. So you have to ask yourself, will people be willing to pay for this service? So if you cannot monetize it, you cannot build a business on top of that.
Once you figure out if people want to pay for it,
yeah.
Is it a business that enough people would want to pay for it? Is it something that's very, very high specific niche? I think is a question I would have.
If you have something that is very niche specific, then you will also be able to target these people very, very specific. And that is actually a benefit when you do marketing. Because the people who are interested in high-end designer shoes, they could be all over the world. And maybe there is some in every country, and if you just get one from every country, then you have 150 leads. And if they pay a lot of money for this service, then maybe it's enough. We don't need to have thousands and thousands of leads and customers if what we sell is a high-priced product.
So after someone finds what they're passionate about, what's next? What's the next step that they can turn this into a side business?
They should, of course, be able to set aside some time. So if, for instance, you say, I will do 2 hours every day on this new little business. And if you're doing a service that you can sell somewhere, the third thing is that you should find a customer. And you can do that many places. So if there is already a marketplace that you can tap into, then you don't have to do a lot of sales setting up yourself. Then you can actually tap into a marketplace where it's already there and just sell your services. That's one way to do it. It's an easy way to do it.
When you say marketplace, do you mean like Facebook Marketplace or something of that nature?
Yeah, or it could be, if it's a physical goods, it could be Amazon, because everybody can sell their stuff on Amazon. They have to create an account and set up their account, and then they can sell their stuff. Amazon have customers, and they have the big search engine where people are looking for things. So that could be a fine place to sell your stuff for physical goods. If it's services, maybe you want to go to a place like Fiverr or Elance or other places where people sell services. So you don't have to do a lot of work finding your own customers, but actually just say what you can do.
Well, you said someone's passionate about something. And it's easy, in my opinion, to get started when you're really excited and you're passionate and it's a brand new idea. But I think it would be really fun to find out, do you have any tips and suggestions on how someone can maintain their passion, their motivation, and even get inspired a little bit? I think this is something we could talk about. Do you think you can handle that?
Yes.
While we take a little break and come back about how to stay very passionate, engaged, and motivated with your next business endeavor. Welcome back to Stop My Crisis. Did you get that business started? You built the website, you launched it, it's a few months in, and now your motivation is starting to kind of peter off. Lise is here to explain some of the differences between motivation and inspiration and how to keep them going. Tell us, Lise, what's the secret?
Yeah, I think that the difference between inspiration and motivation is that inspiration, it is more like the inner fire that enlightens us when we think about it and what we really want to. So when you become an entrepreneur and start your own business, then you have a dream of something. Most of us, we want freedom. We want more time to travel, to be together with our family, have fun, and do all the cool stuff.
It's like the payoff. What is the payoff? What is the end goal?
Yeah.
Because I know they always say that if you have this dream, you'll never work a day in your life. But let's face it, in any job, even if it's your own business, there's going to be specific tasks that you're not going to love, but you have to do it.
Yes.
So you need to think of the end goal and the big dream and what's it take to realize that. And what about motivation? How do you stay motivated?
Yes, I think that there are many ways that you can motivate, but I think motivation, that is some action we take to keep on inspiring ourselves and working with our willpower and do all the things that we know is good for us on the long term. And that can be how to build new habits. It can be to foresee what obstacles that you will run into.
I think it also gives a little sense of accomplishment when you set maybe small goals for you and you accomplish them, and then you take a next step and a next step.
Yes.
I think that motivates you to do even bigger.
Yeah. I totally agree, because what's very important to reach any goal, you need to have a plan. And the plan you break down to smaller steps, and it can be daily steps, and you can also put in small rewards to yourself. So if I do this 5 days a week, then I get a reward Friday. And it can be something small. It can be maybe you can go out for dinner. Maybe you get something that you want to have, and after 2, 3, 4 months, the goal could be much bigger. And maybe it could be a long weekend somewhere where you have a sleep over in a nice place where you want to stay. So these are small things that you can do just to reward yourself for following through on your plan.
So I think it's important to have bigger goals. I actually just last Friday wrote down what I have goals to do and then my reward for the next 3 months.
That's cool. Really cool.
Staying motivated, I think, really helps people get the bigger accomplishments.
Yes.
Especially when you know you have to enroll other people to help you.
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be very overwhelming if you try to do everything by yourself.
Yes. But I also find that, for instance, as an entrepreneur, there are many ways that we can get inspired. I read a lot of books, and that is a big inspiration for me. I have a big network of other people who have some of the same struggles that I have, because they are also entrepreneurs. So these are also very good for my motivation.
Do you have, or do you sponsor any groups, like a mastermind that you have people come together with you?
Yes.
Even if it's virtually, like over the Skype call or Zoom or something?
Yeah, I have both. I have physical masterminds, and I have my coaching mastermind sessions online as well. So
that helps just, I guess, groups of your clients stay motivated together.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. And we have a community where we help each other, and they know each other, and the problems they are struggling with, they know that there might be other people around here that have tried this. So they sometimes they find the answer before I even participate in the debate.
That, I think, would be really helpful. And they, of course, can contact you to find out how to get involved in your online or virtual, or I guess it's a Zoom call maybe, your masterminds.
Yes.
Now I know that might seem like a scary idea, that some people don't feel worthy of being part of a mastermind, but tell me, what does that entail?
We talk about all aspects of a business. So we talk about sales, and we talk about mastermind, we talk about administration, the finances, motivation, self-development. So we try to cover it all. So, and it's different aspects that people are struggling with, but all of it is within a small business. So how do we handle all these things?
And it's for people in all different levels of business success. It's not just people in huge success already.
No. These are people who are in a crisis or want to avoid a crisis, I would say, because
or stop a crisis, maybe.
Yes, want to stop it, because this is normal daily challenges for any business owner.
Well, I really look forward to, and we're going to provide the information that people can reach out and learn how not just to become a part of your mastermind, but seek a lot of your really valuable counsel on so many different things that we just addressed. in this last few minutes between starting the business, website development, so many really great nuggets of information you shared. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for watching this episode of Stop My Crisis and learning how you can go from just building the beginning of a business to something that you could feel really passionate about and inspired by for years to come. And that is how you stop your crisis.